You're welcome once again to BECE Mastery, where real life lessons meet exam excellence. We are continuing the series of solving past questions in line with BECE. Here we have 2023 paper 2, question number 2. Now, question number 2, the question that was given is that we are to simplify, that's 2a, simplify 15 into bracket 4 minus 6, close the bracket, times 49 divided by 7. Here they are trying to test your knowledge in board mass or paired mass. Okay, and we know that board mass, we always have what we call bracket of board mass. So we say bracket, okay, of the of here means the order of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, which means anytime you have question of this sort in terms of arithmetic, we always do the bracket first before we do order. The order means the exponent or the square root if they exist. Then we do the division and we do the multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So from here we can just say, since we are doing bracket first, we maintain our 15 here. 4 minus this will give us negative 2 times 49, okay, divided by 7. And once again, we can say, okay, 15 minus negative 2. Of course, we can multiply that straight away to get 30 because they are multiplying. And we can say times 49 divided by 7 will give us just 7. Okay, so if I multiply this times this, which I'm going to get negative 30, then times 7. And now negative 30 times 7 will just give us the answer. So we can say 3 times 7 is 21. And then we attach our 0. Okay, that's negative 21. Then we attach our 0. So that becomes the answer for this arithmetic simplification. Now let's take question number 2. Question number 2 also has to do with algebra. And we are to expand and simplify. Expand and simplify. And so I can start from this part and say when b multiplies both this, b will multiply this and multiply that. And so we are going to have 12ab, and the b multiplies negative 3 will give us 3b. Then our minus sign here affects everything in the bracket, okay? Or better still, I can keep the negative and open bigger bracket and expand this part of the work. So a will multiply 3, at the same time multiply b. And so that gives us 3a plus ab. Then we will pick the negative 3, also multiplying 3 and multiplying b. So to give us negative 3b, then negative b times b will give us negative b squared. Then we close that. Now we can have our 12ab minus 3b, and now our negative will now run through all. We are going to have negative 3a minus ab, then plus 3b, then plus again b squared. Now let's see if we have some like terms we can add and subtract. We can see 12a here. It has 12ab minus ab, and that will give us 11ab. Then we have negative 3b plus 3b will give us 0. So that one is gone. Then we have negative 3a here. So we can say negative 3a here. And then we have plus b squared. Right. And so we can leave our answer this way, or we can rearrange. Of course, it's better. We can leave it like this. So that becomes our answer, since we can't add and subtract any of the terms again. Now let's take the last question of this set. Okay, this is a word problem. The question says Akosia walked for 3 hours at the rate of 1.5 kilometers per hour from her village to Pemu to take a bus to Kwemu. And so here we can say that the walking of Akosia from Pemu to Kwemu will take her 3 hours, and the speed, that is the rate of walking, that is the speed, is 1.5 kilometers per hour. Now, if the bus traveling at 15.5 kilometer per hour takes 2 hours to travel from Pemu to Kwemu, what is the distance from Akosia's village to Kwemu? Okay, and we want to find Akosia's village to Kwemu. That means that we need to consider the fact that Akosia can walk from a village to Pemu. We can look at that distance. Then we can also look at the distance from Pemu to Kwemu, which also is by bus. So from the question, we can say that, okay, let's see the question two first. How long will it take a man riding a bicycle at 5 kilometers per hour to travel from Akushe's village to Kwemu? So first of all, what we can do is that, okay, let's, out of the question, we can say Akushe's walking time from the village to Pemu is 3 hours. Okay. Then again, according to the question, Akoshia's walking speed from her village to Pemu is 1.5, which is the same as 3/2 kilometers per hour. Now we know from our previous lessons that anytime you want to find speed, okay, we normally say speed is equal to your distance traveled over time taken. Now, what we want to do right now is to know the distance from village to Pemu, okay, and that Akosia did walk. And so we can stand here by saying that from village to Pemu, Akosia's speed, um, okay, so we can say speed is equal to distance over time, right? Now we know that the speed according to the question is 3.5, or let me say 3/2. Okay, if you want to make distance the subject, we can say distance is equal, okay, let me just keep it like that. So this is equals to distance I don't know over time, which is 3 hours. If I do cross multiplication, I have the distance times the 3, sorry, times the 2 is equals to 3 times 3 here, which will give us 9. If I divide both sides by 2, then the distance will be equal to 9/2, which is equals to 4.5 kilometers. Okay, kilometers. So, from Akosia's village to Pemu, the total distance is 4.5. Now, we also know if you want to find distance from Pemu to Kwemu, we know according to the question that the bus speed from Pemu to Kwemu is 15.5, and that of the time taken for the bus to travel from Pemu to Kwemu also is 2.5. So our target here is to know the distance from Pemu to Kwemu, so we can add it to Akoshia's distance from village to Pemu, so we can have a total distance achieved. Okay, so what we need to do right now is that we want to find the distance using the same formula when we say this speed is equals to distance over time. Okay, and again here our distance is given, so our speed is given as 31 divided by 2 is equals to the distance over time, which is 2 hours. Okay, and making the distance the subject, we can say we have distance is equals to 31/2 times 2, which of course will give us 31 kilometers. Okay, now so 31 kilometers becomes the distance from Pemu to Kwemu. So in total, Akosua, or let's say in total, the distance from Akosia's village to Kwemu is going to be the distance Akosia covered, which was 9/2, or the same as saying 4.5, okay, plus 3.1 kilometers. Okay, so that will give us, okay, let me just write it here. So that total distance from village to Kwemu is going to give us this, which is the same as 35.5 kilometers. So that answers the first question. Now, how long will it take a man riding a bicycle at 5 kilometers per hour to travel from Akoshe's village to Kwemu? Again, we know that the time for a man to riding a bicycle from village to Kwemu, according to the question, um, we have the bicycle speed from village to Kwemu is this. Okay, village to Kwemu is this. That's bicycle speed, according to the question from village to Kwemu. So if I use the same formula and I say speed, okay, is equals to distance over time. Yes, I'm making time the subject, so time will be equal to distance over speed. Okay, and the total distance covered all gave us 35.5, and the time, so the speed according to the question is also 5. Now if you do the division very well over here, you end up getting, you get 71 over 10 hours. Okay, or we can just write 7.1 hours, or we can also say 7 hours 60 minutes. I'm sure this has really helped you. Keep watching our videos, share, like, and subscribe. Thanks so much for choosing this channel. See you soon.